And hello, once again, this is Late Night Parents. This is Ted Hicks. Happy to be here. Before we go around the table and say hello to everyone, want to thank, most importantly, we want to thank some of our new distributors of the shows. Yes, we originate out of the studios of WGBB, West Babylon, New York. But want to thank some of our new affiliates, upstate New York, Chicago, Brooklyn, New York is airing the show tonight at 9 o'clock. I know I'm not supposed to name a time or a day or anything else like that. I'm going to get in trouble for that. But so I want to thank our friends at Audioport and Pacifica Radio Network. We are here. I'm Ted Hicks. We're going to go around the table because we do this with the best radio team in the business, on the planet. And as you hear that laugh, none other than Rich Valdez is in the building.
That was not my laugh, but I'm in the building. Hello, Ted. How are you? How's everything going?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we have the Fit Doc.
The Fit Doc herself.
She's in the building.
Good evening to both of you.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you all doing?
It seems like I just saw you 24 hours ago, but we'll get into that.
I know, and I'm so happy I had the support of my team.
Yes.
Makes it all the difference.
Well,
Yes, it
happy
does.
to be there and happy to help out in any way we could.
Yes, it does. But also, videographer extraordinaire is in the building, Linda Valdez.
She waves.
Yay,
the silent member.
And we also have our featured guest of the week, Miss Dionne DeGourville.
Yes, you did good with the pronunciation. Very good.
And we only got it correct like 45 seconds ago.
Yeah.
It was all me. I tell you. Dionne, we're going to get with you in a minute.
Okay.
Happy to have you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I guess we had a special caller that was scheduled to call. Not sure if they're going to call or not. But there's a rapid fire topic or two that I wanted to just bounce around the table.
Okay.
And the rapid topic is I think last week or 2 weeks ago, in Long Island City, New York, Queensbridge Housing Projects had a 1-year anniversary where no one was shot or killed
in Queensbridge.
So I wanted to go around the table and just say, yes, it's great that the works that are being done out there, and yes, it needs to be replicated across America.
Right.
But, and I'm in the minority here because, and that's a caller also on the line.
Wait, why are you in a minority?
I was about to say,
I'm
you
in
can't
the
leave us
minority.
hanging like that.
I'm in the minority here because I'm thinking this is stuff we should already be doing.
Well, see, that's funny. I forget who I was talking to about a week ago about Queensbridge and the entire Long Island City area and all. And there may be more to this than just the lessening of crime.
Okay.
Because like all the areas around there, they are completely changing the space. You've got all these condos going up there.
It's gentrified.
Completely. So that probably, unfortunately, has more to do with the lessening of crime than just enforcement and less violent people being in it. Less violence happening. I have a feeling it may be also more of the violent people being moved out and the gentrification of the area.
Rich, I was just going to say you were tiptoeing around. It's gentrified out there.
It
is. In a lot
Long
of
Island
places.
City, Brooklyn.
Right.
It's happening just like it happened in Manhattan. Harlem was the same way 10 years ago. The change comes across. So the question really is, two questions. Where next and where are the people going?
Right. On the line, we have Ms. Allison Johnson from none other than BET.
Allison,
how you doing?
Hey, crew. How's everyone?
Hey, Allison, thank
Doing
you
well.
for yesterday.
You're welcome.
Yes. Allison, we started to ask the question of the 1-year anniversary and just your thoughts on that.
Well, I was happy to hear that they had a year without a shooting And, as, we kind of talked about this, yesterday, I'm happy to see that it happened, and I'm hoping that they can roll this out, across the country and other communities. We should celebrate that people are putting down the guns and, they're not just randomly taking lives. So, yes, I believe that should be celebrated.
So you want that, Allison, you prefer for that to be rolled out than the law and order process that our new president is talking about, and the feds coming in and going into Chicago or going into any specific area that's, I don't know, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I would rather see communities solve this themselves, but the bigger question is, how is the government allowing all of these guns to proliferate in these communities?
It's perfect. Perfect question. I'm going to table this for right now because that's entirely a different segment. Want to get your takes on Charles Oakley, the New York Knicks. Do you have a take?
I mean, I do. I mean, he's a legend in New York.
Yes.
And for him to be treated in, such a fashion that he's now banned from MSG, I mean, come on, who's doing that?
Well, you got a billionaire owner who can say who he wants to come into his arena and all the above. And it was funny because today at the Knicks Spurs game, James Dolan had Latrell Sprewell sitting next to him, Larry Johnson.
Really?
You name it.
Long time.
Bernard
Sprewell.
King.
I mean, it's almost like, where did he dig them up?
Right, exactly. As if to say, oh, look, I have friends like these guys.
I saw something similar a few weeks ago when Kanye West and Steve Harvey and Ray Lewis were marching into...
and when they met with the president. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, my
But that's
goodness.
kind of stiff for me. I mean, for him to be banned as a player,
Yeah,
that's
I
like
don't know.
me saying to my team here, I don't want you to come back to the radio show anymore.
Right.
I would say thank you.
And next Sunday, he'd be right here knocking
and the
on
fact
the
that
door.
he bought his own ticket. I mean, he wasn't even expecting to get in comp.
Right.
He continues to be an avid supporter of, the Knicks organization. He's still buying tickets.
I just hope Commissioner Adam Silver gets involved in this. Want to quickly segue to Allison. You are the media/marketing mogul. Are you watching the Grammys or are you watching Walking Dead?
I'll
tonight?
be watching the Grammys.
Watching the Grammys.
Music trumps everything in my life.
I used to say that. But I'll be watching The Walking Dead, and I'll DVR the Grammys.
Music trumps everything. Live events you got to watch live.
Dr. Michele, what are you watching tonight?
I will probably be watching my sleep. That's what I'll be watching.
Watching the inside of your eyelids?
That's right.
Okay.
Getting my 7-8 hours of sleep.
Dionne?
The Grammys. I DVR'd it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Linda? Grammys? Okay. So...
You can tell me all about it next week.
Okay. Well, we're going to, you know what, Allison, we're going to definitely have to have you back in here in the studio.
Sure.
To talk about this type of stuff. But the initial topic, we definitely have to have a roundtable on that and to see how do we, if they were able to do it in Queensbridge, hey, whatever subcommittee got together, whatever steps were taken, I simply think it needs to be replicated. Mm-hmm. But I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And Allison, best ways to get in contact with you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Ms. Alley Rock. Best way to reach me.
Okay.
Gotcha. Allison, we will be talking, and it was great to see you at the event of all events yesterday.
Yes. Have a great show, guys.
Thanks,
You too.
Allison. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right.
That
So
was good to hear from her.
Yeah.
Good seeing her yesterday. And Allison,
So what was
we
the
got some video.
statistic? There was no shooting in a whole year. Is that what it was?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No shooting or no murder.
Good thing no murder.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
no one died. So there was shootings, no one
Okay.
died. But that's still, I mean, it's to be commended. No question about it. Either way,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know.
So this is Late Night Parents. Dr. Michele, Ted and Rich are here. Dionne DeGourville
Yes.
is in the building, and you have a very special story to share with us. And I'm going to hand over the introduction to none other than Dr. Michele Reed.
You were too kind
Fit
today.
Doc.
Yes, yes, yes. So that is the reason why I was named Fit Doc. The lady right next to me, Miss Dionne, was the one who named me Fit Doc.
Ah,
And sort of took it and I ran with it. What's up with the side comments going on there?
How do we get one of these Fitspiration?
I was going to wait. I wasn't
You were
going to
gonna
wait.
wait.
I was going to wait. I'm like, look at the
No, we're going to make
coordination on
Dionne
the other
feel
side
right
of
at
the
home
table.
and start taking pot
And
shots
then you know what?
at her.
I'm
No,
going
no, no.
this way.
I'm taking no pot shots at Dionne.
Can you see the back of my shirt?
Yeah, I can see. It says Fit Doc.
Fit Doc.
Okay.
All right.
Does the back of yours say Fit Doc as
No.
well, Dionne? Okay.
No.
So
No.
hers
Okay.
is special.
All right. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Dr. Michele.
No,
was made especially for her.
Fitspiration.
Fitspiration.
Not Fit Doc, not just Fit Doc. Fitspiration.
Fit Doc, please continue.
Okay, now that I lost my train of thought. But basically with Dionne is very special to me because I met her through BGR, which is Black Girls Run, which is a run group. But apparently she had joined the run group a couple of years before I did. And it was her way of wanting to stay healthy, not only for herself, but also for her daughter. And when she started like how most of us are, like gradually with baby steps. So it started off with her walking and then wogging, which is a combination of walking
And a jog.
jogging. That's called wogging.
Okay.
And that eventually progressed to a run. And so by the time I joined BGR, I believe in like 2014, she was running. And she would be that person that we would be just running along. She'd run past us and then come back in the opposite direction, running past us and then run back again. And we would basically still be in the same spot. But we sort of formed a bond. She gave me one of my first lights that I have for running outside.
The night light.
That's right.
The
My
red
night light.
flashing light.
And I still have it because one of the things that we always say is like no woman left behind. And she made sure that we had our lights and we were well protected. She says in 2014 that she was diagnosed with high cholesterol. And her doctor told her that she could either get started on medicine or she can change what she was doing as far as her lifestyle, how she was eating, how she was exercising. And she decided to basically run with it from there.
Literally.
Literally run with it. And her numbers went down, but she did a major transformation where she ran a triathlon. And then the next year she did an Ironman, and we're going to have her explain what the difference between those are in a little bit. And she did this all as being a single mom, still working her full-time job. And to this date, as of today, she's done 15 marathons, one ultra marathon, which is 50K. And 50K is how many miles?
31.
31 miles, and that's in one day. And 3 Ironman races.
Wow.
And she now is a coach. She does personal training. She's a swim coach, a run coach. She has a specialty now in like master swim coaching for adults, nutritional certification, all doing this while still working and training herself. So without further ado, I will introduce.
That was a great introduction.
That sounded pretty good, right?
It
You
really
wanna meet-
was.
You want to meet that person, don't you?
I know. How
know
did you
that
feel?
lady.
How did you feel when your doctor told you about your cholesterol and everything else like that?
That's a good question, Ted. So I went to my doctor, which just so happens to be Fit Doc, Dr. Michele Reed. And
Nice plug.
I went to her just before my first Ironman race, just to get a general checkup of what my levels were before this huge race. And it was a little depressing. She was very adamant about, if you come back to my office with these levels, I'm going to have to put you on medication. That in itself was depressing for me because I knew I didn't want to be put on medication.
Right.
And I knew that through diet and exercise, something had to change.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you were saying you were about to go do an Ironman at that time. So had you already been running on a regular basis beforehand?
I was running. So I basically joined BGR, Black Girls Run, in 2012,
Right.
the summer of 2012. And the end of 2012, a group of us, we did our first half marathon, which is 13.1 miles.
Okay.
And then the beginning of 2013, the end of 2012, I went to a seminar where the running group was invited to listen to someone talk about triathlons. I didn't know what a triathlon was.
Right.
But we were invited to go, and basically a triathlon, just so that the audience knows, it's a multi-sport. It's a combination of swimming, biking, and running. In that order. You swim first,
Okay.
you bike, and then you run.
All in the same day.
In the same day.
Okay.
Mhm. There's different distances of triathlons, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So at this seminar, the running group goes to, and someone is talking to us about the triathlons, and it sounded very interesting to me. And I thought I could swim. And I'm like, I could do that. I had been running already. I didn't have a bike. Correction, I did have a bike, but it was kind of rusty and old and stuff like that. So I gave it a try. And in 2013 is when I did my first, what you call a sprint triathlon, which is a shorter distance. It's about a 400-meter swim. You bike about 6 miles, and then you run either 2 or 3 miles.
Okay.
That was in 2013. So then fast forward, the end of 2013, I did my first half iron distance triathlon, which in itself is kind of a big deal because I was new to the sport and I really enjoyed it. So a half iron distance is you swim 1.2 miles, you bike 56 miles, and then you run a half marathon, which is 13.1.
So wait, when you were swimming, were you swimming inside or outside?
I was swimming inside at the pool, and I had done a few open water swims. Not a lot, just a few. Open water swims basically means you swim in open water outside, either an ocean or a bay or a lake or something like that. But most of my swims were indoors. So my first time swimming in a race, in an open water swim race, was very nerve-wracking. Like, I was mortified. Like, I couldn't believe, I was going to do this, but it worked out.
So now, was that one in a lake?
That one, the half iron that I did, was in Montauk. It was, I believe, a lake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was cold, too. It was cold.
So you were already, it sounds, fairly active before that, we'll call it that fateful visit to Dr. Michele where you learned your cholesterol numbers.
I was active, but my problem was with my nutrition.
Okay.
I was working out but not eating the right things.
Okay.
I think that I thought because I was running, I could kind of eat what I want. And I initially lost weight when I started running. But the moment I stopped, it kind of piled back on because I was eating all the wrong foods.
Right.
So I did a half iron in 2013, the end of 2013, and I was like, wow. I had heard about this Ironman race, which is the triathlon of triathlons to do, and I really wanted to do one. And I signed up for... my first Ironman was in Mont-Tremblant, Canada.
Okay.
And just so that the audience knows what an Ironman race is, you're swimming 2.6 miles. I'm sorry, 2.4 miles. You bike 112 miles, and then you run 26.2 miles.
Now, how long did that take?
How long did it take?
How long does it take the professional, and how long does
Yeah.
it take the average person?
That's a good question. So, professional finishes probably in about 8 hours.
Okay.
It took me 16 and a half hours. You have 17 hours to finish. Okay. If you don't finish in the allotted time, each discipline has a different cutoff time, and at any point, if you miss the cutoff time, they say you're not. You can still continue and finish the race, but you're technically not considered, an Ironman.
You don't get an official time. And
exactly.
Okay.
You get what you call a DNF, which is did not finish.
Right. Okay.
Even though if you still went ahead and finished it. So my first one, it took me 16 and a half hours.
And basically you're doing that nonstop.
Nonstop. The only time you really stop is to, get off to use the bathroom. You might get off your bike to use the bathroom, or while you're running, you stop and use the bathroom. During the run, you do walk a bit. I walk, I should say, I walked a lot. But it's 16 and a half hours of going.
And now, how did you feel when you finished that? Like mentally, physically, spiritually,
emotionally.
Where were you at?
So, I can't even explain the joy that I felt and the accomplishment, the feeling of accomplishment when I finished. I wasn't a good biker at the time, and I almost missed the bike cutoff by about 5 minutes. That in itself is very nerve-wracking. And then I made up some time in the run. But crossing that finish line was like, it's... When you're training for this type of race, you're training for months, right? And that, I think the training is the hard part. The training is the hard part, and the race itself is the fun day and the reward. The reward you get for all the hard work you put in for all those months. And the feeling was just, I thanked God. I thanked everybody. I had a group of people that came down with me, my friends. I had an amazing support crew. It's kind of surreal. It's kind of hard to put into words the feeling. It's just an amazing, amazing feeling.
I think I'm going to ask this question another way that Dr. Michele just asked. After you completed this Ironman competition, how did you recoup? Because you have to go back to your professional life.
Right.
What did you do? How much time did it take for you to, build yourself back up, to show up to your 9 to 5?
I did take a few days off from work. I would say I took off maybe about 3 days from work because I had to travel back from Canada back to the States. And then I took about 2 days off after that. But the one thing with triathlons, one of the disciplines, swimming, is actually a very good recovery.
Okay.
So just getting in the water, getting myself back into the water helped kind of speed up the process a little bit. So I would say about 3 or 4 days back to work,
So are you trying to guesstimate how much time you're going to need off TED once you do the JFK run on the runway, which is only 3.1 miles?
Ooh, I don't know.
Is that what you were thinking about?
No.
You need a doctor's note now?
No, well, maybe.
We know a doctor.
We do know a doctor. A very good one.
You're always planning ahead, right?
No,
Can't use that now as an excuse.
Oh, well, I can. We just, this recording, just goes
Evidence.
bye-bye. And
It's evidence. It's out there already. So how long after you ran that first Ironman did you immediately say, you know what, I'm going to do this again? Or could it have been the other way where you said, and I'm saying this because of Linda on the side there, after her first marathon, she said, I'm never doing this again. And I knew she was not telling the truth there.
Right.
A couple of months later, I'm thinking about doing this again. Did you have a similar situation?
Yes. So after my first one, that was supposed to be one and done. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to be able to accomplish that goal. And, I said that was going to be it. And then I found myself, signing up for the next one, and for 2015. So initially, yeah, the thoughts in your head is like, oh, that's it. I'm not doing this. This is crazy. You know, who's out there for 16 and a half hours, you know, swimming, biking, and running? You know, it's, for some, it's almost unimaginable. But, and then you find yourself signing up for another one. Mm-hmm.
So now, how do you think your daughter sees you now, especially as her mom?
Mm-hmm.
And she's older, she's in her 20s, but her mom is doing a whole lot of exercise.
Yeah.
What impact do you think you've made on her life?
Okay, I think I've definitely made an impact on her, not just with the training part of it, but also with now nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, eating the right foods, you know, not going to Wings and Things and not going to Popeyes, and just eating, you know, wholesome homemade foods at home. She works out a lot. Not a lot. She works out. She tries her best to stay in shape as well. She tries to eat the right foods. And, you know, she doesn't work out as much as I do because she's not training for anything. Mm-hmm. But the impact is definitely there. You know, it is.
And have the two of you ever done any races together?
So every year we do the Thanksgiving turkey trot together in Garden City. You know, I get her up. She's not really into the racing thing. She's not a runner. You know, she likes to go to the gym and do her own thing. Mm-hmm. In terms of running, she's not a runner. But we have done a few races together. We did a 10K together, which is 6.1 miles. We did that together in Barbados recently. And the year before that, we did a 10K together in... It was another Caribbean island. I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's fun to do it together. And every year, for the last, at least since 2012, I bring her out and we do the Garden City Turkey Trot together on Thanksgiving Day. You know, that's become like a tradition for us, you know, to do that together. Mm-hmm.
This is Late Night Parents. We're speaking with Dionne DeGourville of DDFitspiration. Happy to have her here today. I mean, to just share her story. I do have a question. It's going to segue a little bit.
Okay.
The segue goes into your 9 to 5.
Okay.
Your 9 to 5, and thankfully, you're with the Hempstead Police Department.
Yes.
In my village, I feel even safer.
You live in Hempstead?
I live in Hempstead.
Oh wait, don't bond with him. That's the enemy side. It's okay.
All right.
Yes, I do.
How long have you lived in the village? I'm going to do the interview now.
Okay, I've lived in the village for 15 years.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yes, I have. No calls to my house or anything else like that.
Then she said, I knew you from
I knew I knew her from somewhere.
You have that teenage daughter.
Right. And I'm standing outside with the white beater on. Get away from her. No, stop. Okay, so my question to you, as you know, with what you do, and we respect law enforcement, and we're very, very thankful for law enforcement. What do some of your colleagues do with community policing? Because that's the big topic of 2016, and is also going to be, you know, going forward. Mm-hmm. What's your take? How do you get to connect with the youth that's out there?
Mm-hmm. So that's a good question. So I'm a lifelong resident of Hempstead.
Okay.
It's where I was born. It's where I was raised. It's where I've worked for the last 20 years. And I have a great rapport with the community.
Right.
I went to Hempstead Public Schools from elementary school on up to high school. So a lot of people that I deal with in the community are people that I know or grew up with or have come across, you know, while I'm working and stuff like that. And community policing is basically respecting one another.
Right.
Okay? You know, you go on a call and you're there because they need your help.
Right.
Right? Whether they called you or a neighbor called or something like that, right? And you're there to help them. And I always look at it from my perspective as I'm going to treat someone the way I want to be treated. Right?
Perfect.
That's my take on it. You treat people the way you want to be treated.
Gotcha. Hey, I want to just flip back. I don't want to hog this because I know you guys have questions.
No, I see the two of you are bonded.
That's
yes,
okay.
we have.
I know.
It's Hempstead. We're in the house, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Question in regards to your personal training and the fitness nutrition that you're doing. You got that through NASM. Are you... I understand you have your own company, but are you partnered up with anyone, or is it kind of like...
Partnered up how? No, I'm joking.
Are you... So, is it like sole proprietorship? Is it like just you by yourself, or do you have other trainers under you? That's... I kind of want to know about your
It's
company.
just me.
Okay.
So through the triathlon community, I wanted to be able to coach because I felt like I had been mentoring for a while.
Okay.
And I decided to get my coaching certification so that I can coach people so that they could overcome their fears and maybe, train and build the confidence and healthy lifestyle that I'm still learning.
Okay.
So it is just me. The name DDFitspiration came about because my initials DD, and the word Fitspiration is twofold. It's fitness and fitness nutrition and inspiration together. So DDFitspiration. That's where that comes from, Fitspiration.
But then what about the logo that's at the bottom here?
Yeah, so that Believe You Can is
Okay.
basically my company's mantra.
Okay.
And
Believe
it's
you
the
can.
triathlon type events.
Yep.
Okay.
You see the biker,
Yep.
Yes.
the
The
swimmer,
runner, the biker, the swimmer.
and a runner. So one of the things that I believe with regard to DDFitspiration is I think everybody can work out or try to work out and eat properly, right? That's the foundation of a healthy lifestyle, right? But I believe with DDFitspiration, what I like to tell people is you have to also develop a positive attitude, right? There's going to be some days you feel like a rock star and other days not so much, where you don't even want to get out of bed and work out. And it's those days particularly where you need to find that positive inspiration to motivate you and keep you going. Different people find motivation and inspiration from other people. They might find it from family. They might find it from, TV shows or something like that. But I strongly believe that in addition to working out, staying active, it doesn't have to be triathlons, just working out and staying active and eating healthy meals, you have to have a positive mindset. And it'll take you very far in life, not just in working out, but just your inward and outward appearance in life.
I think it truly makes a difference because a lot of times people tease me because when I run, I always have my lipstick on. No, because I feel.
Yes.
I feel.
You see Linda raising her hand over there.
That's right. And because I feel that if I look good, that
You feel good.
I
You
feel a
present
lot
well.
better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even if it was, because that was something I learned in college, no matter how long we stayed up to study, we always got dressed for a test.
yes.
And that's the key thing. So we know we look good, so we're going to do well on this test.
I totally agree.
And that's how I feel like when I run. I was like, I'm going to look good because this is me doing something for me.
Absolutely.
So I can feel good and maintain whatever I have or I don't have. And at the same time, I'm out there doing something.
Absolutely. The best investment you could make is toward yourself. And I'll piggyback off that for a minute. I'll never forget one of the races that I had went to. Someone said to me, "Girl, you got on makeup?" Yep, I do. I sure do. I had on mascara. I had on lip gloss, and I strongly believe, when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good, you do better, I strongly believe that. That's a good point.
And then plus you always look good for the pictures.
Absolutely. It's all about the self.
That picture
That's right.
coming across the finish
That's
line.
right.
When you know they're taking that picture and you get that phone.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta look
right.
good. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
understand.
And the
I
pictures
understand.
along the way.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Hey, I want to segue to the next segment. Dionne, you're going to hang out with us for,
I'm gonna
for, the,
hang
for
out,
the entirety
yeah.
of the show.
Please,
Okay,
please
great,
do,
Absolutely.
Please do.
great.
You have a question?
There was a question
Okay.
online, if we can just
Oh,
answer.
we got
go
a question
ahead.
from someone on Facebook.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I don't recall his name now, but Dee Dee, he wanted to know, how do you manage your time with all that you do?
That's a good question.
Okay.
How do you manage the time? Because it's especially for Ironman training, you have to devote a lot of time. There's a lot of early morning hours. My day typically starts at 4 a.m. It's just something that you manage, kind of just like anything else, you know. And I always look at it as it's giving back to me. I have to take care of myself. If I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be able to take care of anybody else, right? I'm not going to be able to take care of my daughter. It's an investment in me, right? I got big investments in myself, right? So I do get up very early in the morning. You know, I get it in. I get it in when I can, you know. There's some days, you know, when I don't feel like working out, but you know, you got to push through it. You got to push through it, and keep positive people around you that are doing it. You know,
What time do you normally go to bed then if you're up at 4?
this has been my bedtime right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
She's just making
No.
sure you're doing that 8 hours.
Right.
That's all that
no,
was.
no, she's right. Rest is definitely
Yes.
important. We say rest is also a discipline also, and you have to make sure that you're getting the essential rest that you need. But my work hours vary sometimes. So sometimes I work at night. Sometimes I don't get off work till 2 a.m. Sometimes I don't get off work till midnight. So the times varies.
Oh, you have another question.
Second
Okay.
question.
Another question from
What
Facebook.
determines how you set goals?
What determines how you set goals? That's a good question. I think that's individual. I don't know if they're asking how determine how I set my own goals. I know for me, one of the reasons why I do triathlons is because the 3 disciplines challenges me, and it affords me this amazing healthy lifestyle, right? Because I have to train to be able to do this, right? And it humbles me, you know, and just makes me a better human. You know, my goals change sometimes, depending on, you know, what I'm doing. But for the most part, one of my main goals is to do it for me.
Tell me again, take another question.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep it going.
Working so many different hours, how do you fit nutrition in?
Nutrition. So when I first started running, that was probably one of my biggest challenges. I feel like I felt because I was running that I could kind of eat whatever I wanted to. And it worked for a little while, but a very short, because the minute I stopped running, my jeans didn't fit. You know, it affected my my running and my swimming and my biking. Nutrition is one of those things you just have to make it a lifestyle. What I like to tell people is you plan ahead. And every you know, there's a lot of different Facebook groups now where it teaches you how to meal prep. Meal prep is when you basically, like on the weekends, you make your meals for the week. But you have to plan ahead, you know. And if you're going to have a cheat meal, have a cheat meal, not a whole cheat day. You know, it's okay to have those fortune cookies every now and then. But truly, it has to become part of your lifestyle. It's, you know, instead of making it one of those things where, you know, I'm going to eat healthy this week because I have this dress to fit into, you know. Make it a healthy lifestyle, you know, because you want your heart to work right, you know. You want your cholesterol to go down, you know. If you're a diabetic, you want your numbers to be right. just make it a part of your lifestyle. That it's easier that way because diets don't last.
That's right. Has the word diet.
By the way
in
they're
it.
designed,
Yes.
they don't last.
Right.
It's not meant to be a forever for the rest
Short
of your
term.
life
Not.
change. It's let me do this
You
for
know,
2 weeks.
you might
and do
lose some
whatever.
weight
Right.
initially, but it's not long term. Diets don't last.
Any other questions? Okay. Want to go segue really quick to yesterday's Go Red event. If you can give us a summary.
Okay, I think we had a really great event. My cardiologist, Dr. Richard Smith from Long Island Heart, was there. He talked about the importance of exercising, how you eat, making sure your heart stays healthy before you become 60 and 70 years old. And he talked about the importance of making sure that we start with our young children, preparing them to eat healthy, because he said actually, you know, with the cholesterol, it starts as young as, you know, infancy. So we really need to pay attention to that. And we followed him up with a nutritionist, Rachel Wetzler. And she did a really great job of breaking it down as far as what we need to eat and what percentages of certain foods we need. She had a beautiful design of a plate where it talked about the portions. And some people actually took pictures of it for their records. She's very willing, and we're talking about maybe the possibility of her coming into the office because the insurance companies won't pay for a nutritionist unless you're going for bariatric surgery.
Really?
Yes, or you have diabetes. That's how most of the plans are. That's how it happens. So we're talking about trying to have her come into the office because a lot of people were asking her for business cards, but she works for another facility. We're working on that, and we had a massage therapist that was there who gave away free chair massages
Nice.
throughout the day. Blood pressure checks were done, and we had a couple of dance contests and some free throw shooting contests. I didn't see either one of you doing that, but you were busy, Rich, doing pictures. You were
Thank you.
doing the pictures and the videos for us. And Ted,
I think during that
I don't know
time-
what happened with you.
No. During that time, I had to leave to go get
Ted
my
did have
son.
to step out to get
Who was
his
supposed to be
son.
with you in the first place?
But he didn't want to get up in the morning. And I gave him a choice in the morning. I said, do you want to go to this event? And I said, it's Dr. Michele. And he just kind of
that?
he
He just
kind of
kinda
turned
rolled
over.
over.
He just rolled over. It was like, no.
It's all in the presentation because all you had to do was tell him that he was going to be playing basketball
And
and
he
he would have
would've
been
been
right there outside in the car before you.
You know, it did seem like people, the folks that were there were really excited about the event. They
Oh,
were
yes.
really interested. You can see that they were taking the knowledge to heart, and they may take it back home with them and try to apply it in their lives. So I think you put together a nice event there, and I think Scott is probably still sitting in that massage chair because he was there for a while. Can't say
I know,
that I blame
after
him.
Scott, no one else could get a massage.
That's good stuff. It's good.
But overall, we had a really nice event. We had a lot of good giveaways. We were partnered with National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Late Night Parents, MS Family Medicine, Next Generation. Gala Fresh gave us 2 platters. One was vegetable, another one was fruit. Capital Grill did a gift certificate for a dinner for 2. Bonefish gift card complimentary of Ted Hicks, and Retro Fitness membership complimentary of Rich Valdez.
And Retro Fitness. Thank you, Angelica at Retro Fitness for that.
Yes. So I think it was a really great event, and we're looking forward to doing other projects with FitDoc. And, an American Heart Association gave us the nice red dresses and the wristbands, too.
I didn't get a wristband.
I didn't either.
You didn't come by the table to sign up, probably.
Question for you, Dr. Michele.
There's
Yes.
a question for
Someone
Dr.
wants to
Michele.
know, when is your next event?
The next event,
Weren't we just talking about this?
we
We
are
were.
talking about what's going to be our next event. So hopefully maybe by next week we'll have the ideas for the next event. So
Stay posted. Stay tuned to Dr. Michele and all of her social media. And
yes,
there'll be announcements.
yes,
as
because
far as what
eventually
the
we're going to
next
have the
event will
book
be.
launch too. So
Woo.
it might be the next event and the book launch.
There you go. Combine the two.
Rich, I have to segue really quickly. I know we're running out of time.
Already?
Yeah, and
Wow.
because
See that?
I'm saying this in a room full of people, I'm torn about a few things.
What are you distressed about, Ted?
I just want to be free of this pain.
What's paining you, Ted?
I mean, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I had strength to do it.
Just
What do you
it.
have to do?
Just do it.
You're not quitting,
I'm
are
not
you?
quoting anyone. That's not a plug, but do what you got to do. Say what you got to say.
Is it time for me to get rid of my Apple phone?
Oh, you should. Long time ago.
Why?
You have Apple
Time
too?
to get rid of the
Yeah.
Apple
Oh,
phone.
goodness.
Is it? I mean,
Well, no. The jury seems to be out as far as, is this long-term downturn for Apple? But the glory days of Apple are probably behind us.
Yeah.
I mean, the innovation, let's face it, they've done, not knocking them, even though I've always been an Android supporter, but I've always also kept an Apple device around as well. The insiders, some of them say that Ivy and his push to keep things real slim and all that is killing engineering, killing the innovation at the company.
right.
They've done a lot with the phone over the years, but it has stagnated. They've had the first year ever where they had a decline in sales year over year of the
Right.
phones. You and I have talked many times about the Macs and the latest MacBooks, and now there really wasn't anything new there. Besides, I'm still going to rag on that swipe. And you also don't hear anything about that anymore either.
No,
so
you
that
don't.
kind of just disappeared.
You don't.
So is it over for them?
Is it over?
It's not over. But, again, as we've also said before, we are now seeing what it's like with the man not at the helm making
Right.
those creative decisions.
Right.
So are they like any other company now with how many billions of cash that they can spend on R&D?
Yeah.
They're doing things with remote driving cars, with self-driving cars.
What's R&D?
Research and development. They've just got cash on hand. Literally, they can write checks for millions and
Billions.
not even blink an eye. And that's where it is for the company.
The latest model that will be coming out maybe October-ish?
October-ish, yeah, that's
for
when they tend to release the new
10-year
one. Yep,
anniversary.
yep.
Outside of wireless charging, what else do you expect?
Can they do the wraparound flexible phone?
I don't know.
If I had to put money on it, I'd say there'll be something flexible in there.
Okay.
At some level.
Okay.
Maybe they split off like they did before and do the S with the dual cameras, or maybe they'll now make the Plus, the 8 Plus, 9, whatever nomenclature they give it. The Plus model may be the super duper, super thin, flexible phone with premium pricing. There's still the Apple Watch that's out there, which also has not been selling crazy, like they expected at
Right.
all. But if they come out and do the right thing, lower the price on that, maybe they can turn it a little
Just
bit.
go ahead and just break up.
Switch.
Please.
I can't do it either, Ted.
I wouldn't say I would never say get rid
That's
of it.
why the
There's-
two of you were like facing each
I'm
other, and
telling
we're
you.
facing each
There you
other.
go.
I
There you
can
go.
pull out both devices, and I use both devices. Yes, Michelle.
Come on now.
Don't give up on your iPhone at all. I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere. And
I
there
wish
are
they would
still
take better
great
pictures.
devices.
That's like
Yeah,
well, what
that's-
models
yeah.
do you have?
the 6.
You got a 6, because
Okay.
the new now. If you went with
I heard the 7 takes really
the
good
7,
pictures.
and then if you went
Not
with
as
the 7
good as
Plus,
this one.
what they're doing with the twin cameras.
Not as good as
I'm going
not
there.
as
I'm
good.
going there. The 7 Plus with the twin cameras to give you the depth of field for the portrait mode.
Okay.
Does look really, really good.
Okay.
It does. But the Android phones,
Definitely
the cameras
take-
are better.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Better low light sensitivity,
Great
better
quality.
color depth. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Michelle keeps looking at me, so there. Okay.
There you go. Hey, just want to, before we go around the table, next week, we're going to talk about the Boy Scout shakeup. I know that
They're
news
allowing everyone in.
they're allowing everyone in. So, been reaching out about transgender youth are now welcome. Next week, we're going to have a transgender activist and parent to join us virtually
Okay.
on the phone to talk about the changes, and we're also going to talk about the recurrence of these violent live streams, which has become the norm. Like you hear something crazy, and it was streamed on Facebook. So we're going to have an expert join us also next week.
Okay.
Maybe
Really,
I'll come back next week again, too.
You,
be
friend to the
great.
Feel
room.
free.
Come on in.
That'd be
Feel
great.
free.
That'd be great. But Dionne, it was great having you.
Oh wait, before you do that,
Okay.
we did not mention the Tri Team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. So I belong to a
Wait,
tri.
you said I, we.
We. Sorry.
You see how she cut me out? She bonded with him. She
And you
forgot
brought
me.
it up, right?
I guess
We.
he's going to drive her home.
Fit Doc and I, we belong to Merrick Bicycles Tri-Team.
Okay.
It was just formed this year, and if you're interested, you can look it up on social media, Instagram, Merrick Bicycles Tri-Team, or Facebook. You can inbox me, DD DeGourville, if you have some information. If you're thinking about, if you need a tri-team home, Merrick Bicycles Tri-Team. It's a free, and I preference the word free because some triathlon teams charge a fee.
Okay.
It's free, and it's a co-ed team, men and women.
Okay.
And even if you're thinking about doing a try.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotcha. Hey, best ways to get in contact with you? Because we covered a lot.
Yeah. Best way to get in contact with me, you can inbox me on Facebook. I have a website. It's www.DDFitspiration.com. And my phone number is listed on the website.
Okay. I want to definitely thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, hey. Dr. Michele, best ways to get in contact with you?
Best ways to reach me? Stop it, Rich. On Facebook, Dr Michele with 1L.com. And I'm sorry, you guys are just killing me today. Facebook is Dr. Michele with 1L, middle initial C, last name REED. And on Twitter and Instagram, Dr Michele with 1L.
Richie V?
Always the same on Twitter. On Twitter, Richie V _NY, or on Facebook, it's The Real Richie V.
The Real Richie V? I like it.
And you can get in contact with me, Real Ted Hicks, or Late Night Parent. And that's a wrap.
That's
the show's
over.
over.
Everyone, have a great week.
Yes,
See
have
you
a
next
great
time.
week, everyone.
Bye, everybody.